I went on a diving trip. And I remember, as I had just jumped into the water and was adjusting my camera, a friend of mine asked me a very naive question. Is that an underwater camera? Yes, my friend, it is underwater, and it is a camera. Master of ceremonies, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. In the last few days, I have been hovering around a special type of people. The stupid people. And encounter after encounter with this elusive species just deepened my beliefs that stupid people are actually much more advanced than us, the normal people. To prove my point, every year the stupid people increase. And the normal people stay the same. So they must be better. Let me share a story with you that I had with a stupid person. It was at work, and I was checking on this graduate trainee, tapping the gentleman on his shoulder and asking him, how is work? I have a question, he said. Shoot, taking the expert stand. South Africa, is that part of the continent of Asia? Yes, fellow Toastmasters, I stood there indulging in this creamy moment of stupidity, not knowing what to answer, before I just nodded and left. Another encounter I had with a very stupid person, much more stupider than the first one, was with my boss. Unfortunately, stupid people do get promoted from time to time. And we had a meeting with representatives from Global Bank. One of them asked me, how do you cope with such a wide spectrum of customers from the Far East all the way to the United States? And as I was professionally answering, well, we have a satellite office in Hong Kong. In the middle of my sentence, I was cut off with loud, genuine laughters. Somebody was laughing his head off. And I looked, it was none other than my boss. And he was laughing tears out of his eyes from the intensity of laughter. It was then that I realized what had happened. When I said, we have a satellite office in Hong Kong, he thought I was cracking a joke, and that we actually have an office on a satellite in orbit somewhere in the middle of the sky over Hong Kong. Now, if you think that's stupid, listen to this. It was my grandmother's funeral, and a friend of mine came to pay his respects. He was trying to make me feel good, so we started up conversation. And he said, I'm really sorry that your grandmother had passed away. By the way, how old was she? So I said, well, she was 102. Then he said, may I ask how she died? Oh, of course. She was doing 160 kilometers on her motorcycle when she ran into a tree. She's 102. How do you think she died? Now, only last week, I had a session with one of my mentors. And we were going over my personal development in life, and I was telling him how, in the last couple of years, I really didn't do much. And he insisted that I come up with 5 or 4 positive things that I have learned during this period. He insisted that I look at the glass half full rather than half empty. And of course, having done nothing in the last couple of years, I really struggled before I decided to go for it. Lesson number 1. Finally, now I know why they teach us geography in school. It's for the navigationally impaired people to help them find South Africa. Lesson number 2. Never ever invite a stupid manager to a meeting where post-elementary school language is used. Lesson number 3. never call a stupid person stupid. They will get angry. They might sue you in some countries. Rather, you can just say, you are much smarter than so many people who have not existed yet. Lesson number 4, every person in this room and all the people in the world should categorize their friends and filter them based on their capability to distinguish between an underwater camera and a regular camera if the camera is actually under the water. And the final lesson is, and I know some of you are going to go home and try this, I've tried it myself. If a stupid person is talking on TV, using the brightness button on the remote control does not help improve the situation. Before I end, I would like to apologize for all the stupid people who are hiding in the audience. I know that all of you are respectfully smart, but stupid people have been known to have the ability to hide in crowds. After all, they are the elusive species.